gonna be absolutely crazy, bro. I need to full focus on this. Full focus on this one. 50 game win streak plus all the disconnects. I'm not mad, it's just it's sad. The very few people that are skilled and that are playing the game still are all rage quitting. Like 98% of those people are rage quitting. And if you don't think that's a problem, bro, I could. I'm not doing anything that's not in the game. You got to learn how to play the game. This is a two-man team, two strong characters, but I mean it doesn't matter, dude. This is how the game is played. You obviously don't know how to play the game. This is why I said many times that nobody really knows how to play this game yet. It's just not an insult to people. It's it's that you don't want to be too sure of something too early. Like the game has only been out 3 months, and people are already, think they know everything about the game. That's not how things work. People will still be figuring out new things about the game 4 years from now, 10 years from now, if there is a community. I've never seen a Storm game die so fast. It's crazy. It's worse than Rev. Worse than Revolution, in my opinion. There was more people in Revolution.
We have Naruto Storm Connections ranked fights pre-patch, guys. So this is before the patch, before the nerf to chakra regen, before the nerf to armor and all that, guys, just to show you some interesting gameplay of what it used to be, because people will forget what it was like. And I wanted this kind of as a timepiece where I wanted to kind of encapsulate my thoughts and opinions back from before the patch, right? And kind of be able to look back on it to see what it was like, because it's hard to remember the past, right? So two-man teams didn't get a buff yet, right? In the latest patch in 2024, we actually got a buff to two-man teams in their support regeneration, and it regenerates faster and stuff like that, right? There's a couple other buffs, I think. But the other thing here is that's interesting is this player is finally on Pain, and Pain was the best character in the game, in my opinion. For sure, Ashura was also up there, and Indra was also really good, but Pain was still better than both of those characters. And if I was playing myself in this situation, right, this is a ranked fight. If I was playing myself, I could solo myself with Pain if the other me was using Indra and Ashura. I wouldn't be able to maybe do it every time, but I could. That's how good Pain is. I could do that to myself. So it's very interesting that that guy had the answer to all of this quote-unquote spam that I'm doing, right? He had the answer to it by having Pain on his team, but he was too either unaware or too scared to use Pain, or he's too conditioned to use Pain as just a support. As a support. He really likes to use that wind style great vacuum jutsu, right? He's doing it over and over again, and he does a really good job. As you can see here, he baited me in. I wasted a sub. He's done a really good job with that. So we're actually doing very similar type strategies with zoning and luring our opponents in. I don't play perfectly, but I wanted to show you guys something kind of, I would say unfair or unfortunate, right? Is that I had a lot of things lined up for you guys in terms of I was testing out things like tier lists. I was testing out, I want to tell you what are the best characters in the game, what are the best supports in the game, but all of that has changed now that the patch has happened, and it's not just a patch. They literally made this a Storm 4.5. This is not just a patch, guys. They changed the entire way that the game plays. Before, with Chakra Regen, this Hurricane Ultra Barrage, yes, I'm using it like a crazy person, but that's kind of what you're supposed to do in certain situations. And this was a perfect read, and he had a perfect blade dance. He depleted my entire chakra bar, right? Got me to waste all my jutsus. He baited me out because he's a very skilled player, right? And then he got his turn. And look, he did a decent amount with his turn. So this is actually how the game was played. The game was played is like this. I have jutsus, you have jutsus, right? I'm going to use mine, you're going to use yours. There's a very small amount of time in between where you have to be cautious, where I can't get caught by yours and you can't get caught by mine. This created an adrenaline rush, right? This created a situation where you felt like you were on a roller coaster ride. For most people that couldn't adapt to this, that didn't like this play style, right? It created a situation where all we saw was spam. And it's not that you guys were wrong, but once you learn how to play the game, you would actually be wrong. Now, people don't want to hear that, but I'm proof of this here that I have at least a 50 game win streak, but really it's more like 70 or 80 games because of all the people rage quitting on me or leaving, that I would have had more wins on that win streak. I would have had more BP. Now, I'm not saying this to boast or to tell you that you were, wrong or this or that. That's not my point, okay? I know I said those things, but that's not what the real point is. The real point is I was trying to see where the boundaries are of this game. I was trying to see what the strongest things were in this game. I was trying to see, how do you actually play this game? How did they want us to play this game? How was it intended for them to play this game, or for us to play this game, right? Then I was going to teach you guys, and I was in the process of doing that with my battle analysis. If you look at the battle analysis, we did 3 or 4, maybe 5, right? I was teaching you guys, and it was getting to that point where I would get perfect Kaioken with a Chidori, blue Chidori, and then he'd get me with one too, and we would say, hey, nice Chidori, nice Jitsu, because we recognized that I was not where I was supposed to be on the map. I didn't have the right spacing, and he punished me with a Chidori. That's how this game was supposed to be played, was you cannot do certain things, otherwise you get punished. If you do the right things, you win. It's not about the character being broken, or the Jitsu being broken, or that it's spamming. He rage quit. Of course he rage quit. In a game where I outplayed him and I skill diffed him. I have a bunch of different side projects, right? Like I had the Minato no support. I have Kakashi no support. I even have Toby no support, which surprisingly I did well, but there's a limit to that because Toby's just not very good as a fighter. He's good with certain things, but he's not. He, for instance, can't play against PT Ashino no matter how good you are. He just completely trumps him. He has maybe like a 10% chance to win against that character, maybe less. It doesn't matter what your skill level is. If I'm playing a beginner, then it's like easy, right? You can easily win. But if 2 skilled players are fighting, I basically have almost 0% chance if I'm doing Toby no support against a 3-man meta Shino team from the past, right? Interesting stuff. I just wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit here. We're going to build upon stuff. I've been talking about Jitsus explained, runners explained, chasers explained, all different types of spam. Guys, it is what it is. Thank you so much. Let me know your comments here below, but we're going to build on it. Watch the videos before this and watch the ones that I do in the near future. Take care. Thank you so much. Comment, like, subscribe.